particular position because it's right before we're about to swing. So for us, when we gather that energy over that leg load, I'll just work from the ground up. And you see three totally different types of hitters here. But from the ground up, what we find are some commonalities, some themes that all good hitters do. And one of the things that we see that they do, not everybody, we try to stay away from the words always and never, but one thing we see a lot of good hitters do is they land on the inside ball of the foot, that area underneath that big toe, and it's usually landed with that front foot open, that heels up. Their knees are inside their feet. Okay, working up, we're watching this on video, and just as like a checkpoint with our guys, just to see where they're at. All right, one thing we talk about is that shoulder angle of attack. Okay, we want this front shoulder below our back shoulder. In other words, we want to have an attack angle. Not even, and certainly not with the front shoulder above our back shoulder, but in an attack position. One thing I learned just talking with Don Slott at the Area Code Games, he was breaking down film, and he was talking about eye over belt. And I said, what do you mean? He said, well, when they get to this position, I want to see our hitters with their eyes over their belt. And it made a lot of sense to me, and we've talked about that a lot. When they're in this position, eyes are over their belt. Not eyes even with belt, not eyes behind belt. Eyes are in front of belt. Right? And that's how we talked about it in terms of their body. In terms of their hands, we try to teach with pictures, so we talk about the punch position. So if this was a camp, I'd bring a camper on stage and say, hey, I want you got one punch. And learn this from Coach Corbin. You get one punch, you can knock me out. And they get all excited thinking they get to throw a punch. They say, get your hand in a position where you're going to deliver your best knockout punch, where you can maximize most damage. And all of them, to a T, will pull their hand back somewhere in here. Right? Whether it's a little bit high like Altuve, a little bit low like Turner, or in here like Votto, most hitters pull it back right in here. You don't have to say fancy words like scap load. You just say punch position, and they get to about right here. Well, if that's where they're going to punch from, we say that's where they should hit from. All right? And when they do this, normally the barrel is usually over the head, the back knob's pointed back towards the catch. You might have a little wrap like Altuve there. He can get away with it. He's a big leaguer. All right? But that's normally what we talk about with that. Okay, problem with a lot of these young kids is they're attached to their cell phones, right? They even go and they work on their swing on the phone. Hey, what are you doing? Oh, I'm hitting right now. I can't talk. I got to call you back later. All right, and then they keep their hands right here like they're still on the phone. We call these guys cell phone hitters. All right, get off the phone. We don't want to hit on the